What a start for the World Cup we've had. All our predictions also horribly wrong in terms of the score that everyone picked. It was, but all down to England. This was a ground where, we had all picked 300 plus and it should have been 300 plus. But outstanding bowling performance from New Zealand. And as they showed with their batting, that the kind of assessment that all of us had of 300 plus score was the par total. Because looking at the way New Zealand batted, 360 or not 360, I'd say even 380, 390 would have been chaseable. Yes. That's how well they batted. You saw this sort of trend from New Zealand in the warm-up games, and you thought that sometime warm-up game you're devoid of pressure, so you can play like that. But today they showed, even in a proper World Cup game, they can bat the way that they can. So outstanding performance from New Zealand. Yesterday when we had the discussion, all of us had picked New Zealand, I think, in our top 4. Harshit wasn't there. He's the only one who did not pick New Zealand in their top 4. But all of us had picked New Zealand in the top 4 for primarily this reason. Because of the kind of batting depth they have, the kind of batting that their batters are showing. So, not a close game, which I thought it would be.
We shouldn't even be talking about depth because the first 3 batters came and did the job.
Yeah. First 2 batters.
Don't need the depth if your batters are playing like that.
First 2 batters. One got out first ball.
Yeah.
Will Young, ODI black cap number 200. Then you saw ODI black cap number 194 and 184 because I did that video.
Achha.
That was the greatest ever video that I have seen.
Just like the greatest ever performance that you have seen.
Maplay, I am sorry. I had doubted New Zealand. But I will say one thing. There is a quote. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. 2019, New Zealand didn't lose that World Cup. It was tied. The super over was tied. England won because of a technical this thing. It was there in the rules.
That's a finish.
Yeah, but match tied, super over tied. That's
I'll be like Rohit Sharma when he was asked that question. I'm going back to but it's done, dusted. All debates are done. England won, New Zealand lost.
But thankfully, New Zealand dominate even World Cups against England. It's 5-6, 44-45. Luckily, that hasn't changed against New Zealand at this point in time. England were absolutely blown away. First, we saw glimpses of what Ravindra could do in that warm-up against Pakistan. 97. You knew Devon Conway was lurking somewhere there, and look at the partnership, 273 runs. 2 left-handers putting on a show against a bowling lineup that was touted to make a lot of inroads. The likes of Wood, the likes of Wokes, the likes of Ali, the likes of Rashid, Livingston, Sam Curran.
Ali.
Moeen
Ali.
I'm used to him calling Ali in that sense. But
Ali.
6 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 47. That's as good as you got. And England got a proper thrashing. New Zealand were thrashed 3-1 in the build-up to the World Cup against the same opponents. And one factor really, I think England will be mulling now. Oh, I wish he was fit at this time. A certain Benjamin Andrew Stokes, because with the bat, he could have made a difference.
No, but today the difference between the two teams is light and day.
Yeah.
No chance Ben Stokes or 2 Ben Stokes would have done anything. That's how superior New Zealand were. That brings me to one very important question, and I want everyone to tell me what happens when Kane Williamson is fit. What does he do? Where does he slot in? Where does he bat? Because after the batting performance of Ravindra, there is no chance that you would want to move him. But drop him, so you may not. Maybe Chapman or someone you say.
Maybe. No, that is fine. Easy. Drop Will Young. I mean, Will Young anyway was a stopgap arrangement.
So then Ravindra goes as an opener.
Yes.
Conway, guy, one game. Fails.
Will Young anyway was a stopgap arrangement. He was going to be there because you remember Young has featured at a time when Williamson was not in the top order. That's the period he has been featured in predominantly. So actually New Zealand don't have that complication. Drop Will Young, get either Ravindra or Latham to open, and then stick with Kane Williamson at 3.
This is a bad headache to have.
There is no good or bad.
No, but it's especially a bad.
Headaches are bad. Headaches are bad.
But
It's
some
never
come
good.
at a very inconvenient time, right? When you're working or something like that, you can't even rest.
When is a correct or an opportune
When you're
time
at
for-
home,
Even then you're like,
you can
because
go
you must
take
be,
a nap.
No, you may want to, speak to some relatives or go out, or even at home have a plan that I'll read this book or whatever. You're getting up and you get the headache. So headaches not good, but it just tells you the kind of, which is why I go back to that depth, that not every day will your top 3 win you.
Yeah.
But now what New Zealand is showing, that even on days that they cannot, the batting is going to be, batting till 9 as we looked at the batting today. And actually what New Zealand did today is what England was expected to do to other teams.
Yeah.
New Zealand did that to England because who was it? The captain in Joss Butler who said, don't call us defending champion, they are this champion, this champion, that, aggressive, this, that. There is a reply come from New Zealand of don't get ahead of yourself.
It's actually good to see, such replies actually come a day after such comments are made, and that too from the nicest guys that you'll ever come across.
I mean,
I thought 2015 was satisfying. This tops it.
Incredible.
Because 2015 anyway, that England team were woeful. They were so woeful that a day-night game at the Cape Town in Wellington, they couldn't switch on the lights. It was over. All out for 124. New Zealand chased it down in just 12 overs. Game over. There was no day-night. It was a day game. Finished. 2019, looking at the circumstances, then putting up this kind of a show, especially after 2019 and post 2015, the kind of hammering that England have always given New Zealand. Remember, New England's revival after that 15 debacle started with New Zealand. 400 plus, 350 plus, everything came against New Zealand. Baseball started with New Zealand. So, this kind of a performance is sweeter as compared to 2015. Looking at the circumstances that preceded.
You know what? I mean, I want to talk about these two batters today in Ravindra and Devin Conway. Conway, I don't think what he did today surprised any one of us. If you had asked me before the tournament started to pick, a candidate to be the top scorer at the end, I'm sure Devin Conway, I'm not saying I would have named him, but surely Devin Conway would have been one of the names I would have considered. Like if I was to look at 3-4 names, he would be definitely one of the names that I would have considered as the top scorer at the end of the tournament. And the way he's played, now I wouldn't be surprised if he does end up as the top
as
in fact, just about an hour back, and since we all know, family members know that Suresh Raina is in the house with us today, he has picked him as one of his top run getters.
Yeah, but that I'm saying, anyone, one of the top,
Exactly.
everyone would have.
Yeah.
It would be interesting if somebody picks him as the top run getter. One of the, I doubt anyone will miss. If 4 of us here, if you would have asked us, I'm sure all 4 in our top 3-4 names that we would have thought of, Conway would have definitely have been.
And debuts in Devin Conway, it's a match made in heaven. I mean,
Test debut.
200, World Cup debut 152.
is he making some sort of a record?
A debut for, by the way,
Both Ravindra and Conway.
Both debutants, World Cup debutants scoring 100.
And the first ICC WTC final, Conway scored a 50. The most vital 50 that you can get. So that's why.
Clutch player.
Well, it's not been tested yet, but I'll wait.
But it's interesting, Ravindra has got the man of the match. Also aided by his bowling, I guess. Because you look at the top scorer, Devin Conway, of course, is the top scorer. But I tell you about this young kid. I mean, he's a proper bowler. Firstly, he's not just a makeshift bowler. You can make out that he's a proper bowler. But as a batter, that one shot he played of Wood.
Yes.
Wood was like at 150 clicks, but he like flat patted it.
Yep.
My God, incredible. I mean, it was like hitting one of the fastest bowlers in world cricket with absolute disdain. And if you see, that is what I think New Zealand showed. So it's sometimes you win a match and sometimes you issue a statement. So not only have they issued a statement with a margin, but in the manner in which they played. Just look at how they were going after Mark Wood.
Yes.
Because Mark Wood is usually the guy you'll say, he's going to be the one who will put pressure with his pace, this and England would have been, this is the guy, we'll get him to bounce them short. and they went after him. He's gone at an 11 economy. The only ones who did well are your spinners and Karan. Karan then gave away runs later, but I was a bit surprised with Butler, his uses of Karan. Like he got him earlier, was the pick of the bowlers to begin with. I think he had an economy of 4 in the first 3 or 4 overs that he bowled, and then you took him off. I thought maybe you should have kept him on, because maybe you never know, a breakthrough here or there, because he seemed like the most effective bowler who could have picked up a wicket. And what that shows is that on flat batting pitches that you'll have in India, the quicker the ball, the quicker it is going to go to the boundary. If you get a smart bowler like Karan, that can help, and this is what New Zealand was doing. And I think who would have really worked for an England today, like a Plunkett sort of
Liam Plunkett, cutters, hard
correct, exactly, a Plunkett sort of a bowler.
Plunkett or a Jordan maybe.
No, please.
Not Jordan, no.
Well, not Jordan, cutters,
Yeah, he does. But for some reason, on big games, he does.
You see, on these conditions,
He will do it for England, by the way, not for his IPL franchise. That's his criticism.
No, even when he played for England, he struggled in these conditions.
Yeah.
Look at the 5 T20s that they played in 2021 at the same venue. He got tonked. Jordan has a problem now with his bowling confidence. And I'll tell you, look at Wood's pitch map. Throughout in that 5 over spell, I'm ready to bet it that 60 to 70% were all short. But look at how Ravindra played. Calmly, without even having to duck. Hardly anybody ducked. It was coming on so nicely. Just a short arm pull. Just a short arm jab. One that was really pacey, he flicked it either to the deep mid wicket or fine leg. And that flat bat 6, it was an indication that pitch you could not have bowled short because it was sitting up nicely for them. So that is why Wood missed his mind totally. He lost it because he was bowling short, but you knew that it wasn't working at that point in time. So it was carnage. Right from the word go, it was carnage because Vokes was off colour. And remember, England have always relied on Chris Vokes providing them that breakthrough in the power play if Karan also chips in. But that didn't happen. Extreme pace, a Jofra Archer, because Archer is not someone who will bowl short.
But Archer is still not fit.
He's not
We
fit.
don't know when he comes back or whether he comes back or not. They're hoping that he will, but you don't know.
If England wanted to just see what was the length to bowl, their own batters could have given them the feedback. Look at how Mark Henry bowled. Matt Henry, good length, just outside off.
No, plus they bowled a lot of cutters.
Yeah.
Even someone like a Henry, who's a genuinely quick bowler, thought that it's best to use those cutters, which is going to help you in conditions like that. Which England, in that extent, Karan did, but not the others, and that's Karan's strength. The only thing I worry about England is when you start like this. So that's the thing. See, now after 1990. Quick point before I leave, and you guys can carry on. Did you guys notice the drooping of the shoulders of the English player as soon as England were cruising? And that is a worrying sign.
That is worrying.
That they just look clueless. They didn't know what to do. So they came with a plan that we'll play aggressive cricket, bang bang, we'll decimate everyone.
They don't have
we'll
a plan
be aggressive. And as soon as somebody else was doing it to them, they had no idea what to do, and that's the worrisome sign.
Indeed. So
I'll just add to the point that Nikhil was making about England getting a piece of their own medicine.
Yep, you go ahead. Yeah. Just make some adjustments to the trophy.
In that case, I would say that once, of course, like Nikhil was saying, that once those shoulders started to drop, it was also reflecting in their fielding as well.
Yes.
Because it was surprising that with all those efforts that they were putting in, all the dives that they were putting in the outfield, none of those were really fruitful in the sense that they were not always able to stop those boundaries. And you have seen this English side be very, very electric in the field. Again, perhaps they got a sense of the result much before than even New Zealand sort of sensed it, and it was reflecting in the field as well.
Yes.
Because all those half chances were going against England.
Absolutely.
So they knew that they were at the receiving end of something that they've given to the other teams.
Yeah, and I think with England, the kind of mindset they go for, aggressive brand of cricket, I don't think they have a plan B for it. Right, and that's just something that they have admitted to as well, that aggressive cricket is all they will know from now on, and that's the kind of cricket they will play. There are no adjustments, there are no, there's no adaptability to it. They're just one brand. But we have also talked about, the England players and the management as well have talked about how with that brand of cricket there comes days like these.
But I would
Exactly.
say,
I actually want to just stress on that point that Gargi has made, because it was only yesterday at the Captain's Day when Joss Butler did say that, okay, we are used to playing a certain brand of cricket and there are going to be days when it doesn't work out, but we're ready with that. And they've been okay to pay the price in the past as well, and not just in this format. They almost lost the Ashes also because of this approach. This aggressive brand aggressive, not just aggressive play. It's aggressive decision making also. Something that was seen far more in the Ashes, and people called it foolhardy then. So everything put together, I would say England, I think, are ready for this. So even now, I don't think it changes my prediction or anyone else who picked England to be the finalists. And every team, remember, will have that off day. India had it as well. You talk about the campaigns, the winning campaigns as well, World Cup winning campaigns. You're allowed to have, and that's the thing, the longevity of the tournament is such, you're going to be playing 9 matches, after which the ultimate decision is going to come, or you'll know whether you've made it to the semi-finals or not. So you will get time, and England, I still think probably just an off day, because not too often will you see them being beaten so comprehensively.
But I would like to stress on the fact that the baseball template, if you look at it, or New England's template, predominantly, what have England based their play on? If you look at it, rather heavily skewed while chasing. You look at England, chasing a total, this kind of approach works for them. But while setting up a total, that too in an alien condition, you will see more of these kind of days, because I don't see England sometimes. The problem that I have noticed often is that while you are setting up a total, they sometimes tend to falter. Sometimes.
Exactly, that sometime will happen, so that's what I'm saying, that sometimes, because at times, on days when your batsmen are clicking, at times when you're able to really middle the ball, you will be able to intimidate opposition by the sheer total, and that scoreboard pressure, we've seen the best teams crumble as well in that scoreboard pressure. So again, I would say, I think it all comes down to saying that there will be these off days, and there won't be so many of these off days as well, and very few of them, rather I would say even fewer, on which England will be beaten by this kind of a margin. They will not always get this kind of a beating, because again, they know these conditions. So many of these players, they play in the IPL, they're pro and match winners across formats, and the core is still pretty much, nothing's really changed for England. They know what it takes to win the World Cup. So even now, despite this crushing defeat, I feel they still have reason enough and strength enough to believe in their particular process, which has yielded them results in the past. I don't think one defeat is any reason for them to be worrying.
It's not worrisome. It isn't. But they will be scared by the nature of the loss. Remember, 2019, it wasn't a smooth campaign for them. They lost to Pakistan when their bowlers themselves conceded over 350 against Pakistan. They lost to Australia, by the way. So they did have 2 major losses, and that too by the Pakistan game was kind of a low margin, but already they knew that it was not going to happen. Root, Butler centuries aside. But then they lost to Australia at Lord's. That was a wake-up call for them. Then they beat India. They lost to even Sri Lanka, by the way. So it wasn't a smooth journey at all for them, and you can expect with this England team, it is not going to be a smooth journey for them even here. But losing the first game, I mean, I'll give you certain examples, okay? If memory serves me right, this is the first loss that a defending champion has had since 24 years. Sri Lanka were the last team to lose their first game as defending champions in 1999. They lost to England at Lord's. Then Australia won, 2003 they won, 2007 they won, 2011 they won, and India in their first game in 2015 they won. Okay. Then Australia in 2019 they won. So after 24 years, the defending champion has lost the first game. And remember, whenever the defending champion has lost the first game, it's not a good sign, because India were the defending champions in 87, but they lost the first game to Australia. And remember, against Australia, they lost by 1 run in Chennai. So that wasn't such a, it was a heartbreaking loss, but it wasn't a earth-shattering loss. They made it to the semis. Pakistan then Australia became the champions, but they lost in 92. What happened? They didn't go to the semis. So each and every time a defending champion, even Sri Lanka, they didn't make it to the Super 6 stage. They didn't in 1999. So the nature of this loss kind of suggests that, okay, England better get their socks up, because unlike 99, where the format was different, 92, same round robin, Australia lost 1 game, they failed to recover. And every team, once they get the momentum, they will be desperate to ensure they sustain it. Win at least 7 out of 9. Because then you'll have added pressure towards the end of the league stages, wherein, oh, I'm fighting for 3rd, 4th. It happened in 2019. It happened even in 1992. What will suggest that won't happen in 2023?
That's true, but I also personally wouldn't be looking too much into England's performance today, or loss to be precise. I'll be taking away a lot of positive points for New Zealand. Ravindra is an incredible find for them.
Yep.
But I'm not looking too much into this loss for England. With the kind of belief that they have set with the baseball approach, the aggressive approach, they've made it quite clear that they're okay with off days, and they've made me believe it as well, because that's just the power of the brand that they're playing, of cricket that they're playing.
See, it will be premature. It will be very, very foolish and premature to write off England based on just 1 loss. I mean, it's nothing like that. But somewhere down the line, the nature of a loss, that too opening game. Opening game sets you the mindset. Then
I think the takeaway, Siddharth, for today would be, yes, they're going to play the same brand of cricket.
Yeah.
They're not going to change their intent. They're not going to change their approach. But exercise aggression with a bit of caution. I think that'll be their takeaway today, because they also somewhere would realize that they were easily about 70-80 runs short.
Easily.
And they know, and which is why, I don't think England at the moment can complain too much about their bowlers, because they know that this was a pitch for the taking. They really should have gone ahead and done a much better job with the bat today. Just that they didn't do that.
And remember, they will be tested, okay?
And England also, the other reminder, wake up call or lesson for England today being that they can't always rely on Ben Stokes.
Yeah.
He has saved them on one too many occasions across formats as well. We know he's a clutch player. We know he's that sponge that can really soak in the pressure, suck the pressure out of the situation, give his team belief. But when you don't have him, somebody else needs to do the job today. A good job, by the way, done by Root and Butler today in terms of getting that partnership going. 70 of 77, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Root himself making 77.
Exactly. But that partnership was, again, that partnership, had it grown, the result could have been different. The score for starters could have been different. But when you lose wickets like they did today in a bit of a clutch, let's say if you're losing wickets in bunches like they did today, that's where they need to realize that somebody will have to raise their hand and play that Ben Stokes kind of an innings, probably wait it out and then be the aggressor later on.
Yeah, I mean, look at their big hitters. Liam Livingston didn't get going. You saw even Karan struggling towards the fag end. You saw their power hitters didn't step up today.
Bairstow
also got out. And Davin Malan, normally the anchor, he fell. He also fell cheaply. Root tried, but then he alone can't handle it. This reminded me of that Pakistan situation in 2019. Butler and Root were going hell for leather, but still they had no support. The power hitters didn't step up for England today, and that's why, as you all said, 80 runs short. They were 80 runs short of the original thing that could have challenged New Zealand at this point in time. But remember, in World Cups, getting 350 on a consistent basis is also not easy, because it's a World Cup. There is the pressure of a big tournament and all that. And England will be tested by 3 more teams like this.
India,
Australia in particular will test them to the hilt. And somehow, somewhere down the line, it is always Pakistan. Pakistan test England unlike any other team in white ball cricket, because I understand in T20Is they are totally favourites, but Pakistan have not have lost only once in 30 years in World Cups to England. They won in 92, they won in 96, they lost in 2003, but apart from 19, if you look at it, they won. They won against England. So that's why Pakistan might, as South Africa, I don't know, it's 50-50 in their case, but South Africa will also want to get the better of England, because remember, their World Cup hopes were knocked out in 2019 itself because of a sterling display. And England, what was the other major problem for them? 30 over mark, you had only 30 overs left. What was the run rate? Just about 5.9.
Yeah.
Just 5.9.
But Siddharth,
that too, you had 6 wickets.
Yeah, but yeah, you're looking at, even if you're operating at 6 by that mark, 30 over mark you said, right?
Yeah.
You're looking at a score of about 180 runs. That's not bad at all, because if you consistently score at that run rate also and don't aggress from where you are, then also you're looking at a 300 target. From 6, if you can make it a 7, which this England team can at will.
That's what they did do. They have been doing it on a consistent basis. 7. Imagine if they had scored at 7 per over, which they can.
In the 30 over mark you're saying?
Yeah, from 25 onwards. See, first 25 yielded over close to 120, 130 runs. I have to just check how much is it. The next 25, they struggled. Because either New Zealand bowled with discipline.
Exactly, wickets. They were losing wickets on a consistent basis.
But
they couldn't have enough partnership.
No, but then again you look at it. They have batting until number 9. That's what we were arguing. So what forced them to come into a shell, I just don't understand.
Could there be a possibility that the pitch was not acting as a belter of a track in the first innings and maybe it eased out later? It could happen.
No. I don't think it's got to do with the pitch today.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why, because for the simple reason that the way that they lost their wickets, especially with the way Bairstow hold out, then Vokes also hold out, knowing that there's a fielder over there, going for those rash shots, knowing when there is a fielder there for protection and has been kept there for a purpose. Again, calculative hitting could have really done them more good. I think it's down to poor shot selection. Just actually giving it and presenting the ball to the hand of the fielder. Really didn't think that the pitch, yes, the pitch was, but I don't think it changed a lot in the second innings as well.
Yep.
I don't think England were denied the wickets because the pitch started to behave differently or the dew factor came into play. I remember in fact there being a shot, and I don't think that the broadcasters also brought this to fore that the dew started to come into play. Nothing of that sort I find.
But I think the one major telling stat about the New Zealand discipline was highlighted in one stat that they showed. Santner did not concede a boundary. Of his bowling, 60 balls, he didn't concede a boundary.
He was drawing up the runs.
And that's where the discipline factor comes into play. New Zealand's bowlers, see, no one is world class. No one's in the top 5 wicket takers list. No one is in the top.
It's always a team.
It's always a team. And look at, again go back to 2019. No one took a spectacular 5 wicket haul. No one scored a spectacular 100. It was a team effort.
Got till double 100?
I'm talking about 2019 World Cup semi-final.
Just the semi-final.
The kind of crumble that the English batting lineup had today, it is proof enough that the New Zealand bowlers were working in tandem with each other, because when you see a collapse like this, it is it is because the one bowler is soaking up the pressure and the other is getting runs, because batters are bound to get frustrated with not having enough runs on the board, and they will play rash shots in that situation.
Exactly.
I will add one more point. I think New Zealand have also, by the way, in this game outfoxed their opponent. I'll tell you how. I think they were very good with their plans and execution today. You look at the David Malan dismissal, by the way. Everyone knows that Malan has a thing for driving the ball, and he is
square drive.
Exactly. He is that player who will, whenever the opportunity presents, take that boundary. He is not one of those aggressive batters anyway, but he also can switch gears. Now, given that, again, the trap was set in a way that the ball was given at such a length, it was it made it, he was given to believe that okay, this is a ball that's got to be driven. He went for the drive, got caught right at the back.
Yep.
Just at the back, it was Butler taking the catch. Then
Latham, you mean?
Latham taking the catch. Then the other dismissal, that of Besto. Again, the fielder kept there at long off. Butler, Besto, beg your pardon. Again, getting deceived, getting lured, in fact, and holding out. So very good with their plans, New Zealand.
And also rotation of bowlers. Rotation of the bowlers was really good. And I think there was one individual who threw their plans totally awry. Glenn Phillips.
Yes.
I think more than Mitchell Santner's 2 for 37, Matt Henry was the big impact. But everybody has ensured that Glenn Phillips flies under the radar with his 2 for 17.
Did he?
He took Brook, he took Moeen. Two guys, two big hitters, nipped in the bud by a part-timer.
Yeah.
Now, what is...
Did he not castle someone? Who was that?
Moeen Ali.
Trying to reverse?
No, he tried to sweep.
Sweep, okay.
He tried, but then again, New Zealand knew that Moeen has a big problem in his off-spin. Massive problem. Who do you think has troubled him the most number of times in Test history? A certain Gary. Nathan Lyon. Nathan Lyon has troubled Moeen Ali so much.
Yeah.
Moeen decided that I will not play. The main reason that he wanted to quit Test cricket is he couldn't handle Nathan Lyon. That's the unwritten, that's the rule that has been going on. I can't play Nathan Lyon. So that's why I'm not going to play Test cricket. That's one thing. Second, when you dismissed Brook and Moeen, Livingston was caught in a catch-22. Okay, should I go for an attack? Should I do it? But look at the dismissal. Matt Henry caught him trying to go for the big shot. What happened? Gone. The field placements were right. And what has been New Zealand's biggest strength in every World Cup? There has been some part-timer or anybody who's done the damage. You look at the 92 World Cup. We all thought in that era of Akram, Wakar, Holding, Garner, Marshall, where fast bowling would be used as a tool to decimate batsmen. Here there were 4 New Zealand guys who terrorized them by sheer slowness. There was Willie Watson, 120, 115, 120, just for trouble. Chris Harris, troubling them accurately. I can't get them to hit. Then there was Dibley, Rod Latham, Tom's father. So slow, I can't get the power. Then there was, Wibbly, Wobbly. Gavin Larson, the postman, 120, 125. I'm not getting the power. On those New Zealand pitches which had become so benign in 92, they were terrorizing batters. Not because they were taking wickets, they dried the runs up. Even here, Glenn Phillips reminds me of that. Can get you 2 wickets. When England I think we'll have to go after him. Take them off your attack. Get someone else in. Bowler rotation was the main key here in this World Cup, and New Zealand under Tom Latham, and remember, Latham has been touted as a future successor to Williamson for the longest term now. He really set about the tone. How did the bowlers look? How many bowlers did New Zealand use? Just go down a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They just needed 6. And who did he? The 6th bowling option was Neesham and Phillips. Ravindra's plan, I think that day it didn't go according to the plan because he went for 76 runs, took a wicket. But whose wicket did he take? Can you just go up? I forgot whose wicket did he take. He got Harry Brook. Glenn Phillips got rid of Root.
That's what I was saying. So Root was the one who was trying to
reverse sweep. Aggression. False aggression in a bad situation. That can be the undoing of England.
That's not really Joe Root's game, right?
But he's been
has
reverse ramping.
He was reverse ramping today as well.
I agree. He has evolved himself, but when you talk about natural game.
Yeah.
But I think he's established himself enough. The way he's molded himself, that evolution has...
I think on this wicket you needed that old Joe Root to carry on.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think that old Joe Root is gone.
Gone?
He's evolved. He's evolved from that.
He's gone. He won't play the typical classical 18-19.
Joe Root is gone from the team.
No. See, he played a bad shot. Let's not kid ourselves. He played a bad shot.
Yeah, the thing with all of these extravagant looking shots, is the
Is
fact
the
that
risk associated
the
with
day that they don't come off, you look like an absolute fool out there.
I mean, I sympathize with Mike Gatting. Remember, Gatting 1987 final, England were cruising. What did he do? He played a reverse sweep to Alan Border. What happened?
No need.
1987 World Cup final in front of 80,000 at the Eden. Australia won by 7 runs.
Honestly, about luck as well with those shots, because if you hit it, you're a magical hitter.
Look at Conway. Conway and Ravindra were nailing the reverse sweeps at one point in time, but they knew that the target was just so close by, and that's why they could.
Need that.
Yeah, they could just go gung ho and ensure New Zealand would teach England a big lesson. I mean, the World Cup title defense is not going to be easy. Only 2 teams in the history of this World Cup have defended titles.
Yeah.
For a reason.
And Australia.
That's it. And Australia, the first time, they didn't defend the title. They lost it at home.
The second time is much harder, don't you think? Because everyone's comparing your journey with the previous, kind of performances is the word
Exactly.
I'm looking for, and then you are under all this pressure that you have to defend a title, and then Joss Butler goes out and says that don't call us defenders.
I mean, I think I got the message. Like, he said, don't call us defending champions, primarily for the fact that, that champions curse is there. Defending champions, you look at it.
Are we sure he said it for that reason?
I think that might have been the context.
I think, when you say someone's a defender, it's like, the opposition trying to snatch something away from you.
Yeah.
That's what it means when you saying, trying to defend your title.
Yeah.
But what he in essence was saying that I'm not defending anything. I'm going for another one.
Yeah.
I'm not defending anything. Just like all of you all, I'm also going to compete, and I'm going to be competing it the way that I wanted it the last time as well. So I'm not the one going to be facing the attack from you guys. I'm going to be the one attacking much harder than you.
Yes. And remember, India and Australia also, a defending champion, 83. India were the best team in the world. 86 winning in England, 85 winning, the precursor to the Champions Trophy, which was a mention in this World Series.
Then again, it was,
But you were winning.
But
away, that too, consistently.
Yeah, but again, to have done what happened in 83 again, not once but twice against the West Indies in the same edition of the World Cup. Who's thinking first time I thought it was a fluke, second time then again it happened?
Yeah, I mean, see, that team played inspired cricket and they knew what their team was. They knew each and every role. And remember, 183 West Indies were thinking, okay, we can chase it down, man. I've got Clive Lloyd, I've got Viv Richards, I've got Greenwich, Haynes.
Yeah.
Man, that batting lineup was an envy to the world. But Madan Lal sir will tell you so many times, like, we believed. Kapil had that sense of belief that we can do it. We are not, as he said, you would have also seen the movie, we here to win. Simple. Every team now is here to win. They are not here for, like what Afghanistan, even Noor Ahmed told in Sports Today. We are not here to just fill up the numbers. We are here to win. That didn't happen for them at New Zealand. Look, 15 final, 19 final, 2 finals in heartbreaking circumstances. 15, it's an aberration.
Outplayed.
Totally outplayed by an Australian team who dominated.
Outplayed.
19 was the ultimate heartbreak. But they are lucky to be led by a very, very able statesman in Kane Williamson.
Absolutely. One of those guys out there.
That speech, anybody, if you want a management lesson, because this is the greatest loss that you can have.
I think it was Conway who said very recently it was much tougher than all those heartbreaks that people
Nisham, look at what.
It was the ultimate heartbreak in life, and I can relate to it.
Yeah.
One can absolutely, it takes you months and years at times to recover from those emotional setbacks. But what happened with them, these are people who've dedicated their lives.
Yeah, I mean,
as a DC fan, how are you feeling right now?
Again, it doesn't compare with Delhi Capitals at all. It doesn't
Not
compare.
at all.
I can compare it, let's say, the fact that, okay, I've supported Man United all my life. So again, to see them lose or to see them struggle at the moment hurts day in, day out, every weekend. It's not easy seeing losing to Crystal Palace, that too at home.
And that on your birthday.
Exactly. That's my birthday that happened. To top it all, New Zealand again, okay, 15 you were outplayed, you work 4 years, you work hard towards a dream, you get there.
It was the ultimate
very
heartbreak.
end, at the very last step.
By the barest of margins.
And you didn't lose. And you lost to not to the opponent. You lost to the rules. that day.
Rule,
Yeah.
yes.
You lost to the rules.
It must take so much grace to kind of take that to your chin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It would have. And credit to not just the statesman that Siddharth was talking about for that speech, and Siddharth can go ahead and remind everyone of that speech that he made. But Kane Williamson is somebody, and that's been the player that is from his under 19 days. He's had his head between his shoulders, he's got no qualms, he's not got any airs about himself. Same man with the same grace, he will treat you the way he was, he will talk to the media, everyone around the same way that he was before the win, after the win, or if he is going to be the semi-finalist this time around, or the finalist this time around, he's going to be talking the same way.
And again, look at the cricketers. I mean, Devon Conway, hailing from South Africa. This team, if you look at it, what England were, the rainbow nation of the 90s and the 2010s, at one point the test team, look at it, Jonathan Trott, Kevin Peterson, Matt Pryor, all were from South Africa.
Yeah.
Moeen Ali is from Pakistan. Adil Rashid is from Pakistan. All of them from diverse backgrounds make a team much better. This New Zealand team has that. Maori culture, if you have to look at it. Indian heritage, Ravindra. Devon Conway from South Africa.
Yeah.
Ish Sodhi.
Also. Tim Southee and all. I mean, Trent Bolt, a proud Maori, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, Kane Williamson, a proper. Everybody is embracing their Maori heritage nowadays.
Absolutely. Even before, in a lot of sports and rugby, especially, they're doing the haka before every match starts.
I would say because of all these regulations here, even the black cap should adopt the haka. Forget this nonsensical thing about the national anthem and all these things. It is. I'll tell you why. See, if you want to give a sporting atmosphere, something of that kind, that's a very British and insipid way. Okay, we all sing for the national anthem, fine. Do the war dance.
But that can happen in a hurdle, no? Why do you need something like that? National anthem? Because you're representing your country, you're representing billions of people.
No, the problem is in most Pacific nations, there's no particular national anthem as such. There they have the war dance. Like in Tonga, there's the Sipitao. They do the Sipitao, where it's kind of a war cry. Come on, I'm going to challenge you. Then for the black caps and the black ferns, all blacks and black ferns.
But major sporting nations, everyone has an anthem, right? You talk about across sports.
See, Australia, they don't do an Aboriginal kind of a thing because it's not in their psyche at this point in time. None of the Asian nations have got that psyche at this point because they aren't a clan-based thing. They are not clan-based and they don't have a warfare kind of a system.
But you don't need a warfare, right?
It's a tribute to the history. A history in that sense. Nature and all those kind of things. I mean, if you just read the literal translation of the haka, it is harmony of nature with earth and how we are the protectors of the earth. And also saying anybody who comes, you don't destroy it. But it's a challenge. If you want to destroy it, you have to go through us. Look at the Black Ferns, look at the All Blacks in that sense. So,
but the national anthem
and
can
even
also fire you up, na?
England
Look
doesn't.
What happened to Sai Kishore the other day?
Yeah, that's there. But
even,
then see,
Suresh Raina today talked about what motivates players the most, and he said it's the national anthem.
By the way, even England doesn't have a national anthem. The West Indies don't have a national anthem.
The West Indies, obviously, it's a union of so many islands.
It's a created song.
Of course.
England doesn't have a national anthem, by the way.
Should we turn our attention to comments?
Many comments, and I'm sure many people will be happy about England losing because they did win the World Cup and they have been dominating it, and that's why.
Predicted New Zealand. Harshita predicted New Zealand. And what about you two?
Shivam is asking the right question.
I mean, see,
I was very specific in terms of choosing my t-shirt today. I wanted to be supporting these nice guys, and
I don't have a black.
And my shoes.
Yours, I'm saying, I paired up in the shoes also today.
I don't.
Very clear.
I don't
You're
have
hired as a
I don't have a black.
professional Lucky Charm.
That's the thing. I don't have a black. I don't have this kind of a jersey. See, my support, as I've always mentioned. I mean, if there is only one team which I wholeheartedly support, and luckily no one else follows that sport, it's the All Blacks. For me, the Black Caps has always been a sentimental favorite. But for me, any other team, even greater than India, if I have to support and give my whole heart to it, it's the All Blacks. Nothing is bigger for me than the All Blacks.
No, I can't do it for nationalities. I'm very
Yeah.
particular about that. Very sure, rather.
Yeah, me too.
Very
Yeah.
sure.
So Shubham Garg is saying England was hiding wood from the World Cup, was hiding wood from the world before the World Cup. Okay. Now in World Cup, they had to hide him in the match. Hashtag irony. England needs to look at a bowling no X factor.
No, but
I
Wood is
disagree
an
with Shubham.
incredible bowler, yeah.
You will see on days how Mark Wood will be the same
Yeah.
Mark Wood who will be absolutely
Demolishing.
demolishing, devastating the opponents. Yeah. On these flat tracks, especially having an X factor in express pace, which is Mark Wood for you, which could have been, let's say, Umran Malik, you were saying for India,
Yeah.
which is Shaheen Afridi, which is
Lockheed.
Haris Rauf. All of these guys are X factor, especially on these dead tracks at times.
I have a feeling if Wood bowls first, if England win the toss and bowl and they bat second, then it'll be a different tune altogether.
You're right. I think there is some merit in that because even oppositions right now know that at the moment you ask England to climb to the moon, they will climb to the moon also right now. Or walk on water, they can do all of that. You make them do anything with the bat, they will do it. So don't make this team chase.
Exactly, that's the thing. And I just want to know, when was the T20 World Cup and the Asia Cup held in the UAE?
21?
21, no, which month?
September,
October,
October.
November? Kind of October, November? When was the Asia Cup held?
No, it was
September.
September.
But spilled over into October also, right?
21 there was no Asia Cup.
I'm talking about World T20 World
That's-
Cup in the UAE.
I think September only.
IPL ended in September, I remember. But remember, it happened in two halves.
Yeah.
So that happened. There was
October,
a 2 week,
November?
2 week break, and then October, November, roughly. I think you were looking at.
Okay, October, November. Okay.
Yeah.
When was the Asia Cup held in 2022? September, October?
September.
Asia Cup 2022. September, October?
My memory is really bad.
You are holding the World Cup in October, November. Okay. There was one common trend in the World T20. If you guys can know, what was it?
In the World T20.
In the UAE, what was it? Teams that
Tactic.
chased won.
One.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Are we going to see something of that kind in 2023? For the first time ever, you're going to host it. You're hosting
We'll
in
find out soon enough.
Yeah, even let's say last time you had the World Cup here.
in 2011.
In 2011.
But that was February, March.
Yeah, but I'm just
April,
saying,
that
even
is.
then again, the nature of the pitch doesn't change a lot then. Even right now, you're not looking at a whole new, era of pitches in India. Predominantly, it used to favor the batter. You won the quarterfinal while chasing against Australia.
You chased, you defended against Pakistan.
Pakistan, you won the final
While chasing. So,
Australia won while chasing.
when?
2015.
Yeah, chasing.
Right.
But defended in the semi-final. Won in the quarterfinals chasing. 19, England chased. Final, they chased.
Yeah.
2 instances. But here I am looking at the fact that maybe as the months progress, perhaps due could be a factor, and that's why teams that win the toss will want to chase. That is when you may see whether any team has a plan B for that.
That's one. Two, of course, is the fact that you're playing in India and you know that India is not going to be making those tracks which are going to be assisting the spinners a lot. You would want to be chasing on most days. Seldom do I think there'll be situations where you would want as opposition or as a team to be wanting to put the total first. I think
Yeah.
it'll work down. It'll be favorable for most teams, I think.
Yeah, because India didn't chase against England in that 2019 World Cup. They fell short. They batted against Pakistan. They chased against South Africa, but they didn't chase well against New Zealand. So that's why. Shubham is like saying, man, what happened?
I have something.
Okay, Shivam or something.
Yeah.
In 2007, Ricky Ponting was the first who scored century. 11 Sehwag, 15 Finch.
Yes.
9
I
Root,
see the trend.
And now Rachin.
And so he's saying the first centurion has come from the eventual champion then. That's the trend, right?
Three who scored? 2003?
Sachin could have been.
No, Sachin scored against Namibia. That was much later. First game, what was it? It was Brian Lara.
Okay.
But West Indies didn't become the champions then at that time.
Starting from
7 Ponting. Oh, so he scored the first century. They went on to win. 11, Viru against, and even Kohli got it against Bangladesh. 15 was Finch. 19 was Root. Wow. Root.
Interesting.
Against South Africa. Yes, he got it.
Interesting.
When Imran Tahir struck first ball to remove Johnny Bairstow. Yes.
Shubham is saying, Ravindra and Conway absolutely steamrolled England. By the way, Ravindra, if you recall, Sid and Harshit said the Kanpur test with
Yes.
the bat.
Yes.
Yes.
Held firm. Really held firm and ensured New Zealand were 9 down, but they managed to hold on to a draw. Yes. I
Yeah,
remember.
who thought?
Ajaz Patel wala.
No, Ajaz Patel was Mumbai.
Okay.
10 wickets.
Iyer.
Iyer debuts. 115 and 65 that he made.
65, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I do remember Ravindra. Black cap number 1.
Batting, so now he's been sent up the order. He's
Yeah.
actually giving a little bit of Mehdi Hasan Miraj vibes, by the way.
Who?
Yeah, Rachin. Mehdi would play lower down the order. He was playing where did he see him
I
play?
think he was number 8
Got
or
that
something.
100 also, by the way. After which his form tapered. Mehdi,
Yeah.
very recently in the Asia Cup.
But I think he will be the floater, Ravindra, in
He
this
will be.
entire World Cup. He's your floater. And remember, if you want a kind of an indication of what a left-hander can do, who are Conway, who are Ravindra? Left-handers. I think a left-hander is going to have a massive impact in this. When was the last time a left-hander
Let's not
topped
say
the...
that, Siddharth. We don't have many.
That's your own making.
Yeah, we don't have many. In 2011 we did.
When
Not
was the
right
last time a left-hander topped the batting charts? Matty Hayden, 2007. 11, who topped the charts? 2011?
now. Yuvraj.
No, batting charts.
Indian, you were saying.
No, overall.
Overall 2011, was it Sangha?
No, Sangha was 15. 400s, 4 consecutive hundreds. But who was Sangha? Left-hander.
Yeah.
I think Warner was 1 run behind in 2019 in against Rohit. Rohit was 648. I think Warner was 647, if I'm not
Just
mistaken.
1 run?
I think so. He fell short by 1 run. Tendulkar was 1996 and 1990. 2003.
Yeah.
Dravid was 1999 our head coach. So that's the way it is. Then, okay, let's take some more. Why no hype for World Cup? Who's responsible for empty stadiums? Ashish Ranjan, I'm going to do a special package on that. Why there is no hype around the World Cup this time around? Who's responsible for the empty stadiums? I don't know about responsibility as such, but it is not easy. I'll just tell you one thing. It isn't easy at this point in time because the double deaths, like you're saying, now, if you play aggressively, you have to be ready for these kind of days also. A 130,000 capacity, the day it is not full, it will look like it is empty.
Also, I'll tell you one thing. Whose comment was this? Ashish
This is Ashish Ranjan.
Also, let's not forget that the match today is different from what we've seen in the previous World Cup editions, by the way, wherein we've seen the hosts play the first match as well.
Absolutely.
You saw that happen in 11, you saw that happen in 15, you saw that happen in 19 as well.
Happened in 7, happened in 3,
Yeah,
happened in
Exactly. The
1989.
hosts have always played the first game, and that sets the tone. I don't know for what reason, maybe because that epic final was just so epic for everyone. The organizers thought that let's just have a repeat of that all over again and find some reason or conjure some reason to be able to fill up the stadium. But I think the host nation plays a big part.
Big role, yeah.
This will improve as the matches progress, as the tournament wears on.
Yep.
India matches are going to be a sellout.
Yeah, Pakistan games might be a sellout for, depending upon, I don't think Pakistan Netherlands will be a sellout, but Pakistan other teams, it will be a sell-off.
So tomorrow as well, Hyderabad Rajiv Gandhi Stadium, that's a Pakistan play in Netherlands. I don't see a lot of crowd turning up. Hopefully, people do turn up though. I hope I'm
Freaking awesome is like saying, it is funny to see how people change their mind immediately after a bad loss. I don't want to jump the gun. Anything can happen in cricket. Rain will play their part in this World Cup too, but freaking awesome, you are saying that people change their mind.
I think he's talking about possibly people who have now started saying things about England.
But it is human nature. I mean, see, people, if you say that, oh, in hindsight, they were right. Can't it be like that? Some people can be blessed with a foresight also in that case. So, I don't want to jump the gun, but then that's exactly like you may have changed your mind.
Yeah, see, there's no perfect.
Yeah,
simple as that. You will have these off days. England had one.
Yeah, they will. And they will have.
Are you putting them out of the top 4 basis?
No way, no.
Are you doing that?
No,
Nobody is. Nobody is.
Yeah. Eagles is like saying, when I said SA versus New Zealand finals, they said it's for Cricket World Cup only. Oh, okay.
See, I was right.
You are right, as always. See, let's see how it goes for Rugby World Cup. I think France will win. Sorry, Sid, All Blacks will not reach finals. I agree, Eagles. I mean, it's not looking good for the All Blacks. But you know, not France. You know who I'm betting this time to win the Rugby World Cup? Ireland. That nation, man, it's next level dominance. I think Ireland are going to win. Imagine this stat, Eagles. For 100 years, they didn't beat the All Blacks in rugby at all. The closest they came was a draw. 6 years, they've beaten them 5 times.
Wow.
And they beat South Africa in the league stage. They beat the Springboks. So Ireland is one of my... is current Akash Bharadwaj saying, is currently Santner the best left-arm spinner in the world and CSK bench him. But man, they have one best left-arm spinner in the world in the form of Ravindra Jadeja.
They got Tikshna, yaar.
How do you play Santner, yeah? How do you play? It's difficult.
They had to play Conway also.
Yes. So you have Tikshana.
They had Stokes also.
You have Tikshana, you have Conway. So now with Stokes not going to be there, he's not going to be there in 2024.
Yes.
He won't be there. You don't have Magala. You don't have another, many OCs are not going to be there. You can't drop Conway, you can't drop Tikshana, you can't drop Patirana. What do you do? What do you do? Piyush Nandre saying, is that 2 jersey rule in this World Cup also like previous World Cup? That was interesting to see India in orange jersey. I don't think this time there is that rule. Okay.
So orange you played only against England.
There will be a rule. If Pakistan and Bangladesh play, whoever is the host, Pakistan or South Africa, whoever they play, they'll have a different jersey. Because it's green. Normally South Africa play with a different color against Pakistan.
I think
Bangladesh play with a different color against
why
Pakistan.
he's asking is because today there were some pictures doing the rounds of the India team training in these new stripes which were completely orange in color. Made them look like the Dutch team from a distance.
Okay.
So that's why, and last time around you had England and India, right? Remember?
They will play with a different jersey.
Who?
Yeah.
India. They will play against
They
England.
will.
Are you sure?
Against England. Same blue color, na?
Same blue color.
That was-
Host, then India will get the...
They will play with that same jersey. That's what happened in 2019 also, na?
No, 2019 India were wearing that orange
Different color. England will not change. Hosts.
Yeah, so, okay. So then by that logic,
Will
India will not
England,
change, na?
do England have a separate jersey? I don't know.
But
I don't
then,
think so.
Going by that logic, India should play in their home colors, na?
But then if
Because
England,
India, I remember, played in that orange and dark blue.
if
kit.
England don't have a backup jersey, then India
I'm
can
sure
change.
this was accounted for, yeah.
It can. I think they will play with a different jersey this time.
India?
Yes, I think they might. Against England.
But the logic that you're citing, by that logic, though, England should be playing with the different jersey.
I think it is flexible. It is like a mutual agreement upon the fact. I think it's a mutual thing. Not confirmed. Let me just tell you, not confirmed.
I think this is something that should be on the teams.
Yeah.
Do you want to play with a double jersey, something like that?
Because Pakistan's Bangladesh, there'll be a different jersey for one of the teams. I think it'll be for Bangladesh. For Pakistan, South Africa will have a different jersey. Because Pakistan have always played with that green.
England versus India? Maybe India.
I think India might play with a different jersey, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it yet. Because they did play in 2019, orange, just to distinguish.
We'll do a little bit more research on that.
We will. So it's the 4th highest partnership for any wicket in the history of the World Cups.
Wow.
273, and this was for the 2nd wicket. 282, I do remember Dilshan versus Taranga, that did happen. Saurav Ganguly, Rahul Dravid. That partnership was simply unbelievable. 183 by Ganguly, 145 by Rahul Dravid.
That I think that particular game reminded everyone of their respective test debuts also.
Yeah.
It was revenge. Because in 1999, what happened? You beat Sri Lanka for the first time in a World Cup.
But again, those scores from the two of them, remember their debuts?
131 and 95.
Exactly.
Lords 96. And Dravid cried when he didn't get that century.
Yes.
But
Two debutants, imagine.
16 years later he was on the honours board.
Yeah.
So I remember even 372. Oh boy, Chris Gale 215, Samuels 100. Oof.
Was this the match in which Gale scored a double?
215. That's Gale's snog in that.
Yeah.
Fastest to 1000 ODI runs. Wow. Devon Conway, 22. Oof. Better than Glenn Turner, better than Mitchell, better than Andrew Jones. One of my earlier favorites, Andrew Jones. Bruce Edgar, Jesse Ryder. Yep. And youngest to score hundreds on World Cup debut. And Ravindra is third behind Virat Kohli, Andy Flower, of course. What a knock at New Plymouth. 312 they made against Sri Lanka. But guess what? Sri Lanka chased it down. And you know, New Plymouth, I have a memory of that ground. There would be hedges, garden hedges next to each other. And you would sit in between those hedges. Grass banks entirely at New Plymouth. Very, very good ground. So,
that's a lot of stats. Shivam, sare padhe?
Yep. So, okay, what did Joss Butler say? Disappointing day, outplayed by New Zealand. Tough to take that defeat. It is tough.
One loss, still a long tournament.
Still long tournament, but still tough to take that defeat because
it's the margin, not the loss.
Yes,
it's the margin.
Lot of guys in our team have played a lot of cricket. We have beaten teams this way before, and we have at the end of such results before. Absolutely, you will get this double-edged sword kind of a thing. I thought we were well below par. Obviously, not judging by the New Zealand bat because we were aiming somewhere around 330. It got even better in the second innings. I think the dew factor did play a role in it. It made it easier to come onto the bat. Tough to build any pressure with the start they got. We lacked being clinical with our execution. Some of those dismissals, right shots weren't executed. Absolutely.
Exactly what you were saying.
Exactly. We will keep it positive. We'll keep playing our way. Can't be too defensive, but we weren't clinical in shot selection and execution. Exactly. They weren't. I think they played some really good shots. Margin for error was very less. Someone like Conway, he didn't play any massive shots, but he scored very quickly. Same as Ravindra. Skidded on even better under light. That's why we wanted to bowl as well. The toss played a vital role, and it will be a vital role going ahead in this World Cup. I thought he's back to his old self. Don't think there is any question about Joe. He's a run maker in any format. We'll wait and see. He's working hard with the physio. His root got an injury issue.
Yes.
Oh
that's
boy.
A worry now.
That's worry, yes.
Given that you don't know about Ben Stokes here, not quite sure if they can afford any more injuries right now.
Yeah.
England.
It was yesterday because of the, Ravindra is a player. Great to have, it's great. Boys bowled and fielded well. Luckily, I had Devon out there to show me how to do it. He has a very good relationship with Devon Conway, special to finish off with him. 4 to 5 years ago, we all knew Devon would become the player he is. Above all, he's a great guy. Absolutely. Gem of a guy. It was yesterday because of the niggle with Lockie. He knew he will bat at number 3. Okay. So it was communicated to him much before that he'll bat at 3. And I think he will be that X-factor floater like what Jayasuriya was in 92. Same left-hander, left-arm bowler, Sanath. Great, good to see the opportunity.
But I still feel, of course, he'll be the floater, but I think he's at the moment undroppable.
Yeah.
See, as I said, drop Will Young. Get someone either of Latham or Ravindra to open.
Yeah.
And get in Kane Williamson.
That goes without saying.
Yep. So that brings to an end the first day of this ODI World Cup. It was quite a dampener, we say, looking at the margin. We didn't expect a close match, no close match. 9 wickets with 13.3 overs to spare. And this wasn't any minnow we are talking. This was New Zealand beating the defending champions.
Who are hurt now.
Who are very hurt. Absolutely they're hurt. So thank you so much folks for joining us. From me, Gargi, Nikhil and this World Cup trophy who's taken the spot for Nikhil, Harshit also. Bye-bye. We'll be back tomorrow for Pakistan versus the Netherlands. That will be a very important game for Pakistan. They should start well. 7th also, I think South Africa take on Sri Lanka right here at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. And then 8th, the big game. It's India versus Australia at Chepauk. We are building up only for that. These are just side shows. Asli trailer, the real film is about to start now.
Film release hogi Sunday.
Yes. Okay, so bye-bye. Good night.